So I'm just talking about how passion will always lead the way when it comes to Dharma and when it comes to balancing out the chakras. Um, we have emotional reactions to so many things that we're not even consciously aware of. Our ego makes these attachments, and then we make the reactions based on those prior attachments, but we never contemplate where the conscious attachment is. And when we start going through life and we start, doing our daily patterns, or we get a job, or we get a relationship, and we find that sometimes there is the imbalances where we don't feel everything's quite right, where it's just something's off, and the body responds. It was such a fascinating thing to me before I found yoga. I would always wonder why, like, if I was in a bad spot, my stomach would feel sick, or you get like a chest pain, like everything tightens up, and how our body reacts before we do. So our body always tends to react before we do, and that's where we can start to draw that line between the conscious reaction and the subconscious or unconscious reaction. Where it sounds funny, but it's you're not consciously creating that point of attachment, but it's there, and your body tells you. Your body literally tells you whether it's sick feelings or what have you. So when we start to think about what the dharmic path may be, a lot of the times it ends up being something that isn't quite the norm. It's not just, cookie cutter, get the job, get the house, go through life in the norm. It seems to be like there's a few things that really drive your passion. And that passion needs to be listened to. The other external circumstances, the other external influences, they're not going to be the ones that are going to be your truth, your sat, or your dharma, your path. It's always going to be felt from inside. It's always going to be an internal decision. And then you find it, and you could do this the rest of your life. You don't care if, how difficult it might be at first, but you are going to really practice at this one thing. We hear it all the time where, someone was an accountant all their life, and then they just found that one thing. They picked up that one book, and it changed everything. They left their job, they dropped everything, they sold everything, and they followed that one pursuit. And you can hear in their voice that they're always, well, not even in their voice, you can see, and you can feel their vibrations are different. Something's different about this person. And then you might hear their story, yeah, I was a multi-millionaire real estate agent, and then I found this one thing, and I couldn't sleep. It would absorb every minute of every day. I was taken by that topic until I just picked it up and I started doing it by myself. And that's where I think this has to go, where we should all be supportive of one another's dharma and one another's balance as far as the chakras and understanding those different energetic impulses are concerned. Because if we allow other people to have their emotional reaction dictated by circumstance, by external influence, then we never find our true path. So be supportive in one another's fires, their passions, whatever they're truly chasing, because you know that one day there's going to be that moment where you find yours, if you haven't already. And I hope you have. And when you do, you pick it up, you run with it, and you don't let any external noise, any external circumstance or influence affect your fire, your passion. Let it be that thing that will create that balance in your life. Let your passion guide you, and have faith that the way you're feeling when, compared to the old patterns that you might have had, or the old patterns that society might have tried to force, that's never going to be the way that you're meant to feel. It's when you pick up your passion, when you are really truly in that. That's how you're meant to feel. That's why you feel so perfect. That's why everything feels so aligned. And the Dharmic path is yours. It's individual. In the Bhagavad Gita, when we learn about Dharma, Krishna says to Arjuna that he'd rather that Arjuna lives his path imperfectly than lives someone else's path perfectly. And I found that so powerful when I read that. That so much in life, people are trying to find that thing that they've been told to do, or they've been pushed into, or, they've been led to do. And they have that one thing that they feel like they really want to do, but then the fear comes in. Oh, it's going to be a lot of work, but I built my whole life on this other thing, and all these cascading thoughts to hold one down, rather than, the understanding of Dharma, rather than the seeking of that balance, seeking of that path, and knowing that passion is right, the passion is correct. It's not going to misguide you, because that's your true voice. And anything else might be just trying to stifle that voice. The ego is a bastard. The ego, it can really raise its voice way too loud and stifle truth, sat. So that's why meditation becomes so important, to find the way to block out that external ego, that internal and external ego. So it's to say external influence and internal influence. And yeah, when you cut those other things out and you listen real close, there's something different. There's a different sound. There's a different voice, and that's the passion. That's the passion. That's ahankar. That's the true self. That's your true dharma. Let's start helping each other to remove the layers. Let's start recommending meditation to one another, rather than these prescribed medications or these other ways to numb and dull, what we find as what we feel as the imbalances, but we don't recognize them. We don't acknowledge them as the imbalances. We just keep living the life, keep living, the patterns, and nothing truly changes. So when we look for that true change, when we're seeking absolute sat, it's going to take a lot of discipline, and it's going to take a lot more passion. So that was the theme of today's topic, and I really, truly hope you enjoyed. Let your dharma be led by your passion, and find that physical, mental balance that it's what we all seek. I think it's what we all seek, that peace of mind, that peaceful, tranquil mind. So with that, I hope you have a blessed rest of your Tuesday. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. I really hope you enjoyed. Any other questions about psychology, how the mind works, how perspective works, how we attach to these things, and allow the ego to create these other extra attachments, where we even identify as the ego who has made those attachments. So if you're looking for any more information on that kind of stuff, or any questions at all, please feel free to send me a message or leave a comment in the video. Thank you so much, and all the love back to you. I hope to see you soon. So have a blessed day. Peace, everybody.